Guys, Bipolar Barbie here. Now, I have a question, and this is it's more of a statement actually. But I was just reading this article about this woman, I don't know, just one of those crazy stories. She gave birth and then she found out that the midwife that delivered her baby had had an affair with her husband. And there was just this big ordeal about it, which granted that would be really shocking. But it just kind of reminded me of a lot of circumstances. And why is it that you hear women going off, or not just women, just people going off, for example, about their partner, not their partner that cheated on them, but about the person that they cheated on them with? For me, cheating is the lowest of lows. Lying or withholding information and cheating is you are goddamn dead to me. But I mention it because I have been in that situation before where you kind of just find yourself begging for someone to change. So if someone's cheated on you, or if someone's lied to you and they continue to do that, I think we all just need to take a long, hard look at ourselves. We need to know in our minds, we need to really think about our boundaries and what we are willing to tolerate. I think everyone would agree that cheating is not acceptable. Yet when you're in love with someone, I don't know, there's so many people that if they get cheated on, they accept their partner back and they place their anger, I guess, where it is also due, but not where it really should be due. And in fact, in circumstances like that, there is no need to kind of get angry at all. In fact, you should be thankful. You should kind of go, well, you know what? You didn't value me. So thank you for being clear on that. And if someone doesn't value you, you need to walk away. You need to get the hell out of there. And as a borderline, this can be so hard. But what you need to understand is that it's not the love that you have for that person. It's proving your point. It's proving this underlying need that you have to be accepted and to be loved. And if someone rejects you, it's triggering. And you will see, I don't know, I thought it was just love at the time. But I was just being controlled by this psychological need that I had inside because of my own issues with my fear of rejection and abandonment. It actually had nothing to do with the person at all. In fact, I hated the person. But they couldn't hate me. They had to love me. And I don't know. I just think it's something really interesting to point out. And if someone has just cheated on you, if you were with someone that has done anything that you would consider unacceptable, you need to leave. I don't have time for my friends anymore that sit there and whinge about the same thing again and again. It's okay, I get it. But it's the first time is shame on them, but the second time, it's shame on you. And every time after that. I think we all want to blame someone else for pain. We don't want to blame ourselves. But I think there is a healthy amount of blame. And when blame is healthy, it's called responsibility. It's called taking the initiative. It's about empowering yourself. I mean, wherever the blame lays is where the power is. So if you're blaming someone else, you are empowering them. If you take responsibility for everything in your life, which you should, it's not embarrassing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually really good. Have you ever felt yourself begging someone not to hurt you? Stop hurting me. You're hurting me, so please stop hurting me. I'm blaming them for what they have done. And in turn, begging them to stop was making me powerless. I was hurting myself for the simple fact that I was letting these things happen to me. Why was I letting them happen to me? I don't know. But I was. And looking back now, if I was in that situation again, I would not let it go on for that long. Possibly like so much so where it's at the point where it's like the first, I think this is like the other stage of borderline, once you realize what's going on and you have been hurt beyond and abused and tormented, and you've been in that state for so long by so many people, you kind of go the other extreme where all of a sudden you're just like, no, first sign of pain, no, I'm gonna cut you loose while I still can. And that's kind of where you just push people away. And I think that's honestly the state that I am in right now. But it's a good, healthy state for me, because for the first time in my life, I do not have that type of fucking drama. I don't need that drama. You don't need to be in a relationship. And if you do, then you certainly should not be in a relationship. If you feel like you cannot be single, and what I mean by single is just completely okay in your own company. If you can't do that, then you need to. So I just think, if you find yourself complaining about something that is going on in your life, you need to look at the role that you have in it. Can I avoid this? And most of the time you'll say, no, I can't control it. My partner just keeps hurting me. Well, if your partner doesn't value you, if your partner thinks it's okay to treat you like that, then they don't deserve to be a part of your life, regardless of how long you've been together. If you can't communicate your needs and they don't respect you enough, if you don't have a good enough communication system, if they're not willing to listen with the intent to actually understand you, if you find yourself having that argument where you're like, you're hurting me, and they're like, no, I'm not, and you are trying to validate and justify your pain, then you are with the wrong person. You really are. And I know I'm probably going to get a bunch of criticism for this video, but I will not listen to anyone talk about how their partner has cheated on them a second time, because you should not be with them after the first time. No. And, you know, that goes for anything else. You know, like, there are a lot of things that I just won't tolerate. There are a lot of things that are widely accepted, and it honestly doesn't matter whether they think it's like unreasonable. Everyone has their own issues. Everyone has their own shit. And something might be a big deal for you, and if they don't think it's a big deal, well, that doesn't really matter. If it's a big deal to you, then a good partner, a good friend, someone in a healthy relationship dynamic would accept that regardless. If I said to you, these pair of scissors mean a lot to me, and I want you to keep them safe, if you cared about me, you would keep them safe, regardless of whether you saw the value in these pair of scissors or not. And I don't expect you to see the value in them, but if you value me, you will value my feelings and my opinion and what I value enough to kind of just go along with it. So this is my morning rant for today. If you want to see more morning rants, then definitely subscribe to my channel, hit like. I would love to know your thoughts on this issue. Because I know there's a lot of people that kind of rant about this, but so many people are hypocritical in this sense. And it's always like a yeah, but, and look, I've been there. I've been there. And I look back and I'm like, what an idiot I was. And I know the friends that had this point of view and were trying to convince me of this, and in the end, you kind of lose some friends too, because they get sick of hearing your shit. It took a couple of my friends to kind of wake me up and go, you know what? I'm done hearing the same thing. I've told you what to do. I've told you to leave them. And if you're staying with them, then by default, you're saying that you're okay with their behavior. And you can't change someone. So if their behavior is not acceptable to you, then you either need to find a way to be okay with it. And if you can't, there's plenty of goddamn fish in the sea. How many times do we hear that? Yeah, why do we get hung up on like one stupid piranha? I don't know. I am no longer a fisherman, and I am no longer a damsel waiting to be rescued. I am a goddamn fucking queen, like it's my birthright to be, and I don't need a prince and I don't need a king to validate my right to my throne. I might not have a kingdom yet, but metaphorically, I'm ruling.